A mother who allegedly severely injured her baby son has been freed on bail whilst the 11-month-old remains in hospital 1 month after the alleged assault. Queensland police allege the 29-year-old woman from Ipswich, West Brisbane, caused the baby's horrific brain and spine injuries, which doctors say will almost certainly lead to permanent disability. The woman, who cannot be named for legal reasons, appeared in a Brisbane court Saturday, 15th of April, a day after she was charged with grievous bodily harm. Police allege she assaulted the little boy at a Camira home in Ipswich on March the 7th. The court heard that the woman claims she found her son injured on the road outside their home and screamed for neighbours to help, but nobody came. She claimed that she then picked her son up, carried him inside, called emergency services. In a police interview, the mother said that her son had thrown his head back when she scooped him off the road and suspected that he fell from a height. So that's the mother's story. Prosecutors say medical evidence suggests that her story is full of holes, her story is an utter fabrication, and with that she's been charged with grievous bodily harm. So the Brisbane Magistrates Court saw it fit to only hold this scumbag mother in jail for 1 night. That's it, 1 night behind bars, and then she was released on bail. Why the heck would you do that, Brisbane? The medical evidence shows that the 11-month-old baby boy suffered a severe head injury that will almost certainly lead to a permanent disability, may limit his life expectancy, and seems to be an inflicted injury whilst he was in the care of the mother, who came up with porky pies, a complete fabrication as to why her child was injured. Yet she's been released from jail. Why would you do that, Brisbane? That makes no sense. It's not the right thing to do by any means. I'm going to say even the charge grievous bodily harm seems a little light. I'm no expert, perhaps it isn't light at all, but I do hope that she gets severe punishment should she be found guilty, and the medical evidence, allegedly from my interpretation of what's stated in the article, seems to indicate that the experts believe the mother was involved in her son's injury, so why not attempted murder? Again, perhaps I'm completely wrong, perhaps grievous bodily harm is the correct charge, perhaps there can be severe sentences for those that are found guilty of inflicting grievous bodily harm. I hope that's the case, but from the look of it, it seems like Brisbane doesn't really have a big problem with mothers disabling their children. Okay, you can spend 1 night in jail, but, you're a woman, we'll let you go, no worries. It's not a big deal. You nearly killed your 11-month-old child. They're almost certainly going to have permanent disabilities. Their life expectancy is likely to have been reduced significantly, but no worries, 1 night in jail, that's all the punishment you'll get. We won't even publicise your details. We'll keep your name out of the media. It's disgusting. I do try to cover Australian cases where I can. Often the articles don't provide a lot of information, a lot of details, so it's hard to justify making a video. And with that, I'm not overly familiar with Australian sentencing. I've covered enough English crimes to be aware that English sentencing is a joke, particularly in regards to granting parole. So life in England, life in prison does not mean life in prison. Life in prison in England means, I'll spend a few years in prison, then you'll get the opportunity for parole, you'll likely get it, and then you'll be out. That's pretty much what it means in England as far as I can gather. I'm not too familiar with the sentencing in Australia. I've just not covered enough cases, Australian cases, to be fully aware, but this seems to be a terrible example of sentencing in Australia, particularly Brisbane. A mother nearly kills her child. It's believed that she likely is guilty of inflicting injury on her 11-month-old baby boy, causing permanent disability in all likelihood, and she spends 1 night in jail before being bailed out. That's a disgrace, Brisbane. So I'm going to wrap things up at this point. That's as much info as we have. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. Consider joining my memberships. I am trying to make a lot of videos. I prepared this article a little while back. I've just not had the time to cover it as quickly as I like. Actually, I was also struck from YouTube for a week, which didn't help. But I am trying to be on top of these things. So if you're able to join my memberships to show some support, that would be great. But thank you very much for listening.